Better not be one of these days. Let's see, are we alive yet? Oh wow, that is really shonky quality. But we're there. Alright. Okay. Alright, so this is not a 2915, thank God. Oh, you son of a gun. I can't believe it. Even Tape can't hold up this stuff. What good's Tape? This is a 2850. Huh. Okay. I don't normally get them this old around here. Oh, crikey. Kind of helps with disconnect the battery first, Paul. Which in itself is a bit of a task. Oh, and I saw what I was looking for down here. I've got an oversized there you are. Please be the tri-wing. You are, yes. An English hedgehog. I always forget there's that one under the end here. Hey Kristen. Ah, shame. Alright, well you have a good day. Let's go. There we go. Battery is out. Scratch the nose. Again. Hey, Harold Farnell. Anyway, so this basically just has the problem of it drops out. And I suspect it's classic capacitor failure. Suspect. They could have other issues, so I'm just going to disassemble it regardless. Elon Musk wants the battery. Yeah, probably not much longer. I'm sure he's going to go crazy with his lithium sulfur one soon. We need a T6 because this is an older machine. Where are you, T6? T6. Hey Carl. So hopefully this won't drag on for all eternity today. It's hoping we can just have a nice pleasant in and out with minimal complications. This machine's actually in very good condition considering its age. Stuart, that's what I'm thinking. GPU cap. I certainly hope so, but given the age, although it is in such good condition, I will have a look around anyway, see if there's anything else that needs cleaning up while I'm at it. So what is Lewis doing today? I'm not following what he's up to at the moment. I believe he's doing some sort of hearings or something. I don't think I'd be too keen on doing that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know, it seems too much like community service. Hey, Q's. Q's, which cap is it on this one again? It's C2950 or something, is it? I can't think off the top of my head. If I can't think of it off the top of my head, I'll just have to go Google it. Senators rattled the lobbyists. See, I'm so stupid that I don't even really know the primary difference between senators and lobby. Oh wait, no, I know what lobbyists are. Huh. I'm just not thinking today. John White. Wow, what you get for a repair there, John? What sort of machine and what kind of fault? Have you already repaired it, or are you still in the process of that? It's next to the fan, the heatsink. Can't remember the allocation. Ah, yeah. That sounds a lot like me. Now, what was I pulling the microscope out for? It's a crack up. I pulled the microscope out. Oh, that's right, yep. It's old age or something. I feel like I'm missing something here. Something stuck under there? Or is it just a case of... Yeah, occasionally this plastic gets stuck to the underside of the... there we go. That much beloved microphone. At least I can actually... At least with these ones you can unscrew the audio speaker assembly without taking the microphone off. Unlike the 1278s where you got to very much rip the microphone off the chassis. I'm not really a great fan of doing that. And no one's ever been able to give me a better way of doing it. Okay, there we go. C95, oh man, I wasn't even close. I had 2950 in my head. It's not even remotely close to that. Hey Paul, how? Hey Pedro. How's it going there, Pedro, with your machines? Right next to the coil by the fan. This one here, isn't it? Slowly. Well, yeah, it's better than not going at all, isn't it? Now, I'm pretty sure this is the one that we're talking about, this here. So I'm just going to mark that so that I can come back to it in a jiffy. But first we're going to have a look around the board. Like I said, given its age, it's not unusual for small amounts of corrosion to start just spontaneously developing on these boards. Just like Paul's brain is spontaneously forgetting everything. Ah, found it. Okay, I'm just going to brush away all the cobwebs. But I am surprised, this one is quite clean. And that big fat 32 kilohertz crystal. Hey Rodrigo. Pedro, old board. Well, I think this is, what is this, 2010 or 2009? Fortunately, yes, I am not really... Yeah, 2850. I mean, if you compare it to the board we had last night, the 3115, which is 2012, when you compare the corrosion level, like, this has barely got any sort of surface corrosion on it, whereas that other one was just... it's turning into Shrek. 2010, thanks Overdrive, appreciate that. Yeah, all those little facts and figures I just do not put the effort into retaining. Maybe I should, but it's hard for me to justify putting the effort in when I've got other things to do with my brains, like continue on with learning my Chinese and other things that I can't remember. Yep, this is stunningly clean. Truly amazingly, stunningly clean. Well, Rodriguez, someone wants it repaired, so yes, I'm being paid to repair it. I will repair it. I got no problem with that. I'll take the money. Oh, because I need to... Oh, you lousy. Lousy. I need the money to build a contraption to hold the filter in properly. Alright. Well, we're not even going to bother hot airing this. We'll just use the soldering iron to knock it off. Yeah, I could certainly do it with a solid state drive. I'll definitely agree to that. And we're off. It's like a focus drift between... I've got a bit of a focus drift between the camera. Yeah, that'll do. Hey Teresa, Pedro, Sonia. Ah, Sonia, it's been a bit earlier than what I'd expect. Okay. 330 microfarad. 2 volt. I could put 3 ceramics there. I think someone sent me some 330s. Have a look. Oh man, I got termites crawling in here. We've had a fair bit of rain the last couple of days, and it's now attracted the termites. They're all coming out along with the bugs, and this room is not appropriately sealed against such things. Oh, come on. I know I've got them here somewhere. They're right down the bottom of the pile or something. CD3215A. Oh, which one were you? Oh, BO3s, right. I was going to say, because I was looking for them before and I thought I only had BO3s, and proof is I do only have BO3s. Oh, come on, where's that 330 caps? Seriously? Ah, here we go. Yep, that's him. Oversized monstrosity. That's way oversized. See, my other option is I can put down 3 100 microfarad ceramics. There is a bit of a difference in the way they behave. Depending on the frequency, things like that. Yeah, reach. So if you put down 120600 microfarads, so what else have I got? 156 threes. I've got a few different options here. I'm just going to see which one I can get away with the cleanest. 10s. Yeah, we won't be putting Shiba Repair 100 microfarad 6.3. Yeah, so I've got these things 150 6.3. Kind of curious what the size are, but they're probably a little bit too big for the job. Whereas I have these. Now these were used for replacing. I'm just kind of curious to see how. Yeah, they're not going to be much better actually. I was kind of hoping that. Yeah. See, 2 would be easy, and I suppose I could stack the 3rd on top. What are you? Oh, that's... I knew I could smell you. You're not a termite. You're a damn shield bug, aka stink beetle. Ah, I got a stink beetle on my desk. Yeah. Alright, so you could stick these 2 down and then you stick a 3rd one on top in a pyramid configuration, and that usually can work. Or you can go with the 330s. And the trouble with the 330s is that they do have this intermediate intermediate pin there that you got to watch out for. And sort of set it around about. I always forget, isn't that meant to be a ground? Or is it an extra positive? Re-hot the shield bug. No thanks, that would stink terrible. Go. Yeah, so because that middle pad is the ground, you kind of have to keep it over like this. It's like, yeah. I'm kind of thinking I'll go with my triple stack and get some focus maybe. The hair is called I just washed my hair and haven't bothered to do anything with it. So normally it's tied up so that it doesn't get into MacBooks. Well, 3 of the hundreds will give us 300, of course, and we can live with the 10% off. Truly, we can live with the 10% off. In fact, you'd probably find it works even at 200, but we will put down 300. Buy a transistor tester. Now, why the hell would I buy a transistor tester for? Seems about as not useful as anything. Yeah, just going to shift these back. Oh, this is awkward. The tweezers just been a little bit long. Yeah, sorry that about Terry Jones, the Monty Python. Bit of a shame. Guess it happens. Inevitably. Come on, get on that plane. Caps on a plane. Okay, that's 200 done. Why are you not sucking up the... And now let's get our third one. I really don't have any use for a transistor tester in all honesty. I mean, I've had them in the past. Honestly, really do not find them any use, personally. I mean, if you can describe to me why you think it would be extremely useful. There we go. Well done. It's a pyramid scheme. I have good ESR capacitor and transistor tester, but really never use them. Yeah, it's just, yeah, some tools just don't really have a lot of relevance anymore. And unfortunately, they're one of them. At least for the sort of work we're doing. Okie doke. Let's pop some RAM in that. And we can check to see what sort of voltage we get. So an article stating this model had a lethargic fan control stuck at 1000 RPM regardless of how hot it became. Okay. Okay, we get our multimeter onto volts mode. Okay. Get our MagSafe 1. Get us up to 18 volts. Power on. Don't these ones have to be manually turned on? Yeah, manually driven on the fan. Hey, Warren Stamps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you gotta... Where's the on-off on these ones? We've got another bug. These little blighters bite. They're like microscopic cicadas. And they bite. Should be down here somewhere. There we go. I think it's those two pads there. Short them out. And so here we go. No. Yeah, the House of Bugs, unfortunately, is very much a reality here. Now, shorting these out should actually get the system to run. Weird, when it's showing 25 milliamp constant. Just steady state 25 milliamp. That's not normal. Is there something I'm missing? Bug is preventing boot, yeah. Turn on itself and plug into the charger. Pretty sure that should be an 85 watt rated cable. It's going to be unfortunate if it thinks that it's actually a 65. Well, I've got an 85 watt in the other office, so I'll go get the 85 watt just to confirm. Alright, Travis, I'll see you next time. Obviously this is a clone. It's not a genuine Apple one. Doesn't have all the beautiful packaging that a genuine one has. I will not be injecting voltage into the bug. Let's see what happens. Take the cap off. Oh, there we go. So it was a case of the cable obviously is lying to me, which is fairly typical. I've noticed it a few times now as you go and you buy an 85 watt cable, but they are in fact 65 watt cables being sold as 85. In other words, just lies upon the lies. Alright, now we can check our voltage. Okay, 1.3. Is that what we're supposed to be getting? I never can remember. .55 volts. So it's a little on the low side actually. 1.3 is fine, nothing connected. Thanks, Stockholms. So I guess what we'll do is we'll put it back together. We'll test it with something like Valley. Leave it run for 3 or 4 years. And if it passes that after 3 and 4 years, we can give it back to the customer. So, so just the bank accounts reporting back to me saying that I've been given money. Money is always good. Right. Now, considering that we've only just done that tiny bit of work there, and this board is generally quite clean, I'm really not inclined to put it through the ultrasonic cleaner, so we're just going to have to do a bit of manual cleanup. You guys get 1.3 in replacement? Okay, cool. Good to have the cross-referencing from other people. I gotta admit, I didn't check it the last time I did this because it was quite some time ago, and I just sort of went, oh well, let's power it up, see if it works. It worked, so I was like, good-o. Bloody filter. Just fell out again. I'll have to make a video of me fixing that properly. I know what I want to create, but I've got to do it. It's always the hard bit. Ideas are easy to come up with. Doing it, not so much. So you're in an awkward spot, you little thingamajig. Very awkward spot. Now everything's going to have that yucky sort of sheen look over it. There's not much you can do about it really. Short of ultrasonicing it, but like I said, there's no way I'm going to ultrasonic this board just over this one capacitor replacement. Okay. Hey RTC. Thermal paste. No. I'll see how it goes when it's reassembled. See what we're looking at for temperatures. That said, you're probably right. At this age, it really would have dried out, so yeah, alright, let's do that. Oh yeah, it's actually using Torx on that one. Be T6s again. Linus had a meltdown on his live stream. Jim, isn't that normal for Linus these days? Or oh wait, sorry, I was thinking of Eli. Whoops. I don't know why, but I have a bad habit of getting Eli and Linus mixed up. Unless you're talking about Linus Toll Voids. Which one are you talking about? Almost seems you could use a small air compressor with filtration system below the boards right. You could do, Sonia. I do need to get one of those compressors that have like got a 3-litre container on them or something like that. That paste was actually not too bad. That's okay, we'll clean it up. Linus Tech Tips, right, okay. What was he having a meltdown for? Oh shoot. God damn it. Now I've got chunks of 10-year-old paste all over me. There we go. I mean, I expect Eli to have a perpetual breakdown these days. At least until he gets himself back together. But I don't expect it from Linus too much. With Flex Boardview and Open Broadcaster, why does the mouse not line up? Do you have any ideas how I can fix that? Cursor not lining up. I don't know why that happens, Q's, because it doesn't seem to happen all the time. I think it's something to do with the way in which OBS captures the window. Because I noticed half the time it works with Lewis and then he changes something and then it doesn't work. So I don't think it's actually explicitly Flex Boardview's fault, but rather probably the STL library that it's using. Library, sorry. Having a little bit of a difficult time speaking. Hey, Crazy J. Burn out and wants to take a break and to do his own family stuff. Levento, why doesn't he do that? What's the problem? What's his issue? I mean, it's not like all of his fans are going to up and abandon him overnight if he takes a break. I mean, sure, some will leave. But they probably weren't really his fans anyway. Be careful when you take this paste off, because there's all little resistors and caps floating around on the top there, and the last thing you want to do is knock one off. Employees, pretty sure I can take some time off. Yeah, 10 million subs, and I mean you can afford to pay those employees the holiday pay, and they would be getting holiday pay anyway. Methinks maybe he's just creating drama for the sake of creating drama. It's a bit of a dangerous thing that I've noticed some YouTubers, well actually just people in general, do is they have something happens and they have a drama video, and the drama video actually ends up being surprisingly successful. And the trouble is it then causes them to think, hey, I should do more drama videos rather than actual normal videos. And so you end up with the channel content changing from being what it was originally, and it just becomes Days of Our Lives or whatever you want to call it. And then it truly does go and die. But there's, in the mukbang world, the food eating on screen world, there's a fellow called Nakado Avocado, and you know, I don't watch him per se, but I've seen his videos come up as I go past other rooms, and he went from being a moderately eccentric sort of guy But yeah, you could understand why people followed him. And then something happened, I think, with Trisha Payata or something like that. And all of a sudden, now his main thing is just to create drama videos, and it's embrawling a whole bunch of other people. And the views are probably going skyrocketing now. But I don't know how long it's going to last after that. There's got to be a fallout at some point. But you get, I mean, of all things, over videos of people eating food, and somehow they manage to turn it into a colossal drama fest. Nerd drama. Hey Swiftrick, Linus was creating some drama. It seems his meltdown was due to a request by a young person and something like Make-A-Wish Foundation. Oh, okay. That can be tricky. It can be scary when you get requests from those sort of type places, because there's a inherent social obligation that you should comply, even if you don't feel like you want to comply. And so you kind of get stuck between a rock and a hard place. What kind of thermal paste was it that I was using? It's just Arctic Silver, Arctic Alumina, or whatever it is. It's just a cheap white paste. It does the job perfectly well. I mean, you might be able to get 1 or 2 degrees extra cooling capacity out of something else, but honestly, this stuff, you just put a drop or two onto the heat spreader die, squish it around, clamp it down, job's done. It is very easy stuff to use. Hey Gregory W. Linus just got a reality check where we all die. It sucks, but even more reason to make the best of what we have. Well, that's certainly true. Everything hit Linus when family sent photo album. Big thank you for helping kids last time. Oh, okay, so he's sort of having this event because of he did do something with the charity group or whatever, and yeah, it's sort of like a reality slap. I understand now. How Linus brought up about being a meth dealer? What? Stuart, I'm not sure I'm that dedicated to the cause to push for that sort of thing, especially given how the ambient temperature alone can. It's just not. It's not me. Oh, you lousy mongrels, you put the microphone underneath it? Right, now I understand. I'm probably going to have to rip this microphone off the chassis. I didn't want to, but I'm probably going to have to. Because in their infinite wisdom they decided to make it that you have to put this over the top of it. Because why not? Oh well. Guess Apple can't be perfect. That should make a few people rage. I'm trying not to, Gregory. Consider it a personal challenge thing. To be fair, I'm probably going to have to, because when I put this back down, the alignment of the outline of the microphone is probably not going to match up sufficiently well with the alignment of the actual recess, and further to the fact that it actually has a turned lock on the cable. Damn it. So yeah, it's going to have to come off. That sucks. Well, that took all of 2 seconds. And we're done. Yeah, the microphone, I don't know why they did it that way. Then again, maybe it wasn't intentionally meant to stick to the chassis. Maybe it was just a case of the foam they used to try and probably stop noise coming in from the side. Maybe that just happens to become adhesive after a while, as opposed to them explicitly making it sticky. Let's see how many cables can I jam under here. Make sure everything's lined up there. Look at that one. Crazy J, your faulty 165 arrived. What sort of faults it got? Well, you don't know yet. Is it liquid damaged or just unknown? 3437s, 165s, I'll happily fix those pretty much any time. I think everybody feels the same way, to be honest. Anyone who's been doing more than a few MacBook repairs knows to gravitate towards those two. Headband Harvest, which year? 27 inch. I've got a 27 inch, but it's a 2013, and it's actually not too bad. Use the pizza roller to break out the foam on it. But I know with the more recent models it's a nightmare. You just push that a little bit too far with it and you've destroyed your very expensive screen. The hell, what's a stogie? Is a stogie a cigar, isn't it? Glue sucks, well I'll definitely agree to that. My lens is slightly fisheye. Which one are you talking about? The overhead or the face? I think part of it is because they tried to make it a wide angle. So it sort of tends to come with the territory of going wide angle. Overhead, yeah. It'll be compounded by the fact that I've also zoomed in a little bit. Okay, how many spare screws have I got? Got those two. Yeah, the face one I don't think I've... They are slightly different cameras. I always forget which is which, but I'm pretty sure the face cam is a 922 and the overhead is a 920. And I'm thinking of shifting over, or saving up or whatever, and getting a Brio, which is the 4K camera. And that'll give me the option at least then to do a reasonable desktop zoom in without actually optically zooming in. I would prefer to optically zoom in, but at least with the Brio I can do that on USB, whereas pretty much everything else I'll have to get a HDMI capture. Okay, that's in. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Cues for me, I'm using USB on everything. I don't have any HDMI capture. I have been looking at them. I wouldn't mind getting one of those Magewell 2-port capture cards for Linux. That's $500-600 I really shouldn't be spending, especially not on something like that. Did you remove the green bug? Oh, I'm not sure. Hey, this is a matte screen. I wonder if that's been changed. ASD. Okay, so I've got my 2 ASD drives. Hey fingers, Hundit. Ach, is wel, danke. En jou? Aha, found you. So many solid state drives just floating around here. Just everyday trash now. So it's an upgraded high resolution matte screen. Interesting. Didn't know you even had that options available. So let's hold down that option button, ready to pick our source. Hope things don't go kablam. Well, we've got fan spin, so I'm happy. Okay, looks like we're having some success here. Except neither of those look like the drives I want. So I'll disconnect the internal drive and try to boot up again. I don't know why the external USB... It doesn't have the greatest success rate in terms of coming up for MacBooks. Okay, Stockholms, what's the resolution on the improved one? Oh, look at that. See, nothing. Fantastic. Alright. Easy way to fix this, maybe. We will just take their drive out. See, obviously I don't want to put things like the Valley test or whatever onto their hard drive, if I can help it. But I can at least just plug my drive in. Let's see how we go. Oh yeah, I know about the hard drive cables and these ones queues. Funnily enough, I don't get too many of them, to be honest. I get a lot of people who say that they've had the hard drive cable fail, but it actually wasn't that. I wonder if this is even going to boot. Normal glossy 1440 900, high res. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just got a blinking folder. That sucks doodly. Not sure why that would be the case. I'm just going to plug Ubuntu in on the side and see what happens. Straight away that picks up. I don't know what the dealio is. Maybe I've done something dodgy on that install there. Maybe it's got APFS or something, but I don't think it has. Did you plug it back? Yes, I did actually, Stuart. Yeah. No, I don't think it's the cable at fault. It's just the actual drive itself is some format about it that the Macs don't seem to like sometimes. I installed it. Yeah, this is me. Yeah. Alright. I'll shut that down. I'll put the hard drive back in. Right now that hard drive cable is probably botched. Oh yeah, here, got something on the screen, so I should be happy. I should probably tell them to upgrade this hard drive. 500 gig, 5400. It's just asking to die any day. In fact, it might be such that when I'm finished up with this, I will take it back out and put it into the recovery server and clone the drive. Mostly because if something does go wrong with it in shipping, then at least I can say to the person, hey, relax, it's okay. The good news is there's a backup. Yeah, it's original hard drive. I actually do quite a number of these upgrades. I think that's the biggest reason why a lot of people stick with this particular type of model, the 1278s and whatnot, is because of the fact that you can just put a 2.5 inch drive in there. It probably would have been a greater acceptance if they'd gone with... Damn it, it's just too fine, that is. Bug just landed on my face. There you are. Pedro, we don't talk like that. No, that's not how it is. It's a humanitarian thing. What do you think I am, the Red Cross? Give me $1 million and I'll give you victims, the people suffering, $100. And we'll call it fair. The only thing I don't like about this particular setup is that it's hard. You basically have to have the battery plugged in while you're working on these screws. Whereas with the subsequent versions, you can flip up the battery and safely remove it from the circuit. Alright. Looks like I might buy them some replacement feet as well. I don't like having to work on these machines if they've got an active battery attached. Sometimes you can't help it. Better than a soldered SSD, well, that's true. But yeah, here in Australia, the big charity groups are under fire because everybody's seeing the amount of money that they're getting for the Australian bushfire crisis, and then they're seeing how little is actually being pumped back to those people who are suffering under the bushfire crisis. Now, I understand how it goes. I understand why the charity groups do this, because they need to. They're basically using these big events so that they can pool the money for future events that aren't quite so socially popular. The things that go on throughout the year. But I think they've mismanaged this one pretty badly. So we'll probably see someone start up a group where maybe 90% of the proceeds go straight to the intended victims. But charity is big business. Yes, I did see about the C-130 crashing. That was extremely unfortunate. An American one too. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sure they'll find out. Kind of looks like they might have run into the side of a mountain or something. Maybe they got inundated with smoke. Perhaps the engine's cut out. All sorts of things. I mean, there's so many possible causes. Oh, this is so slow. You forget how slow hard drives are after a while. With good reason. It's like when you get out of a bad relationship and then you're reminded how bad a bad relationship can be. Sweden is getting tired of Greta. Yeah, I think people like Greta, they've got to be strongly managed. Sort of got to get the message out. Try, get the next level of people engaged and participating or doing things that you want to get done, like planting trees or whatever. And then you've got to get people like Greta out of the way, because otherwise they can become a little bit toxic for their own cause. So they're definitely very useful, but you've got to do it the right way. I don't know about the child abuse thing. I think Greta is pretty much well and truly happy to partake in such things. It seems to be what she wants to do. But I think there just needs to be better management of it. But the trouble is, it's probably the first time around, and so they're just going to keep pumping it. And after a while, no matter how good one of your meals might be, if you have it 7 days a week, you're going to get sick of it. Okay, we've got a guest user account here. My personal philosophy is we should all just do everything we can. We'll do what we can within our means. And just try and reduce our impact where we can, regardless of whether it is or is not influencing matters. We should still always be trying to minimize our impact. That's my philosophy. Feel free to ignore it. Okay, speaker's good. Brightness is good. Yeah, reduction of plastic is a big thing. There's so many products that we could use where I find, particularly in the food markets, the amount of times that you buy things and they've got more plastic around them than half the stuff that more plastic than what these solid state drives get shipped with. Yeah, definitely the use of plastic is a little bit over the top. I do kind of wonder whether we're going to develop some sort of biological critter that is going to start consuming plastic at a fairly volatile rate. Then we'll be in for some fun. And by create, I don't mean in a science lab. I mean it just something will somehow find a way to use plastic as a fuel source. Sticksmith. That's actually permitted. Mr. Smith has some good ideas. He's right about the population control too. I think it's kind of crazy that we've got 7 billion, almost 8 billion people now. I'm doing my bit. I'm not breeding. Okay, show percentage. 76, that's good. I don't think I can install... Okay, good. I'm fairly sure I can't install anything to do the testing here as far as I know. Anyone ever done it? Yeah, well you're right, Swiftwick. That is the problem fundamentally, is that our society is primarily based on the concept of unlimited growth potential. So we do have to at some point face the reality that we are going to end up with less young people than we have old people, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an upheaval. We had a good run of 150, 200 years, but things are going to have to change again. So we'll probably have the uprising of the robots. And they'll all be chanting, "Kill all humans." Let's see, Uni-John Valley test? I can't remember the name of it. Continue. Date will be wrong. Yeah, Steve K, I do not believe in personal procreation, thank you very much. I got fur kids. Does that count? Actually, I should have this on my local server. Yeah, let's see how the download rate is. Skynet's going to take over? Probably will. Either that or they'll just reboot the Matrix. What are you going to YouTube for? Oh, Sonia, I'm not against practicing. That's... yeah. Yeah, Nick, I'll ask him, because you're right, it's painful. Oh, that's... let's see, 192.168.1.8, I think. Downloads. Oh, there it is. Oh, Teresa, I don't know about cats going to bed when you tell them. Mine certainly don't. I have to work around their schedule, not mine. Hey, Paulie Lewis. Anyway, I do believe we're going to have to do something about the population situation. It's interesting, though, that China, since they've removed their one-child policy, their population rate still hasn't actually picked up very much, or if at all. In fact, I think it's gone down. I think what's happened is they've realised that life's perhaps equally as fun without resorting to having to have children. Java updated 10, okay, whatever. Certainly Japan is Japan is like, we're not going to bother, we're just going to have our vocaltrons and our dispensers with all the weird and quirky things that we like to have. No, damn it. Yeah, I don't know the username or password on this, I don't think. Let me check. Oh, I do. Okay. I'm shocked. You gotta realise how rare it is for people to actually give the password. Except I don't know. Damn it. Cancel. Okay, why have you gone dark? I think we can safely say though that this is probably just working fine. Because it hasn't crashed or anything like that in the time that we've been running. Flip that up. Rodrigo, well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep it like this. It's kind of getting to the end of its luxurious stage in life. I think it's going to turn more into salt than there is pepper. I think it might have been the light sensor, Ahmed. I think when I folded it forward it might have... it could have been coincidental too. We'll find out. We've got Perth, the other country that's also called Australia. I'm just waiting for this thing to boot again. Yeah, it only cost them another 250 to change over to a... Actually, probably about 250 extra to change to a 500 gig Samsung Evo 850 or something like that. Rodrigo, at least if you've already lost it, you can sort of own the fact that you've lost it, and you know it's kind of like, as opposed to being in the halfway state and trying to wear a toupee or anything like that. Looks like a death. Ah, come on, boot. Excellent. I'm fairly sure we're all good here, but what I'll probably do is, when nobody's looking, I'll set it up. Saw Paul fighting the UFC yesterday. Was that the one being beaten up by McGregor? Man, the people that were probably upset about that fight. It's like it's over in 10 seconds, or 40 seconds I think it was. I mean, you gotta get pretty upset about that. You probably... What do people pay? Like 50, 60 bucks to watch those fights? I don't know. I mean, it's not something I do. And then they probably had to arrange a whole bunch of favors and whatnot to get time to watch it. Okay, Chrome. Oh, Bass or drums? I gotta admit, I'd probably be more of a bass player. I can't. Yeah, drums would be cool, but sadly, I'll probably fall into the bass player type stereotype, which is rather shameful, I guess. How do you know if it's launching or not? This thing's so slow that you can't be sure whether you're running the application or whether you've got a fault. Oh, sad. Sad, I gotta be a bass player. Oh well. Don't talk a lot, wear glasses, and just hang off to the side of the stage and pick up the weird people. Hey, Jeff P. This still isn't booting. I mean, it's booted, but it's, I'm trying to get Google Chrome to run. I don't know what it's... Oh, it is. It just took forever. Oh, wow. 2.168. I'm probably going to have 50 sessions open up now. Hey, Nick469, is it? Just worked out that chats for my YouTube Premium account didn't show up in chat. Ugh. You gotta keep on top of that kind of thing, don't you? Come on, where is it? Other. Yeah, I think I will ask this person if they want to go to a solid state, because at least, going from a 500 hard drive to a 500 solid state, that's a very quick process. I put their drive into my cloning server, make a clone of it to an image file, and then I take that drive out, put the solid state in, and write the image file to the solid state. Now I realise you can do from the original hard drive to the solid state, the new one, directly, but I do not take risks like that with customer stuff, because really it's like pulling the trigger on a Russian roulette. It may be more like 1 in 100, but even 1 in 100's too often for me to make a mistake like that. How much RAM? I'd say there's 4 gigs in this thing. Q's, I think it's doing, to me it looks like it's performing perfectly normal for a hard drive. It's not giving the typical broken flex type behavior where it will stall more than actually not run fast. This is just slow. Oh wow, this has got spotlight on. What is this? This is El Captain or something? Capitaine? Let's see. Sorry folks, I'm almost there. New find a window, thank you. Let's see if it's even in applications yet. This person's got it. Yep, there it is. Hey Damaris, thank you. One for the name change. Name change. What name change are we going for? Jack Daniels, maybe? Sierra has spotlight. Okay. Oh, yeah. I figured it was you, Dragon, by the alien face. Kill that. Kill that. Sometimes you gotta go into settings and give it approval to run. Security and privacy. Open anyway. How do people live like this in the past? I mean, I know I've been at this since the late 80s. I'm not sure I tolerated it. Yawn, 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 yawn. It'd be nice if it was just giving me an indication that yes, we are now loading this. Let's see if I can feel it. Yeah, you're just the... Oh, now it's finally doing it. Blimey heck. We're going to send Apple laptop repairs. I'm in Queensland. I'm sending the IT tech in Melbourne. Headman Harvest, whereabouts in Queensland are you? I'm up in Charters Towers, which is inland from Townsville. About an hour's drive inland, an hour and a half from Townsville. And which MacBook you got, and what fault are you suffering there? Open 56k modems. Oh, they were the best of the worst. My first modem was a 2400. Was it? No, my first was a 1200. Yeah, that was painful. Oh, lo behold, finally we're here. North Brisbane, okay, yep. So you're not too far away at all. 300 baud acoustic couplers, they were horrible. The acoustic coupling was the worst. It was okay out to about 110. But, yeah. Wow, this is painful. Loading, loading, loading. So what's the bet on the frames per seconds we're going to get? Say 4, 5, 2. Oh, poor Ipswich. Poor Ipswich, always getting the brunt of everyone's jokes. I gotta admit, I did kind of... The Sunshine Coast was a much nicer area. Mullaney, although that's more hinterland. Okay, we've got 4 and 5 and 6. We're 80 odd centigrade. I think we can turn off the sound. Looks like Q's kind of misjudged slightly, intentionally, I bet. Alright, well, it's running, so I think we're just going to leave this here for a couple of hours, prove that it does work well enough. So as you can see, it was a bit of a different way of doing it way back an hour and a half ago when we were putting that pyramid stack of ceramic caps on there. So yeah, you can use the 100 microfarad. I think they're 6.3 or 4 volt 1210 size ceramic caps. They're a little bit cheaper and they're a little bit easier to manipulate. Yeah, I mean, stacking 3 up kind of seems a little bit dodgy, but can't be any worse than trying to make that whopping great big 330 microfarad cap sit there in the limited space that it's got. Oh well. Yeah, we're doing 6 frames per second. What a laugh. Ooh, I was worried then for a second we had a crash. This is doing 1680 1050. Wonder if that is the native resolution. Yeah, super laggy. Super laggy. Quality... Put on low quality. Oh no, I've got to load it again? Seriously? Oh well. Yeah, stop animation. What would you look at if you had 2 original chargers, the same output on a machine? One will boot it, the other won't boot it. What machine are you trying to boot, Stuart? Headman Harvest, if you send me an email, just go to my website. You can just send me an email and let me know what you got. A1278 i7. Yeah, I'd say contacts or... Yeah, it'd pretty much only be the MagSafe contacts maybe. And the thing is, they probably will work perfectly fine on other computers, but it could be just the way it's pitted. Yeah. Either that or one's not really actually the wattage it says it is. Where the heck's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Alright, we're gonna leave this go. Cool. Yep, okay. Well, everyone take care. I'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow we'll have something else. This is a bit of a classic repair. Just took a lot longer because I was sitting here waffling to you all. But that's half the fun in games, isn't it? Plus it took us forever just to get to load the testing program. We'll have to find out why my why this thing does not work properly, because it should just be a standard boot for these sort of machines. I don't know what's going on there. It works for some, but not for all. Who knows? So I'll catch us later. Until then, you'll take care. See yous.